Hello everybody, it is me, Super Godzilla Final Wars here, and today I am back once again with another Godzilla movie review. Today we're going to be reviewing Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters, All Out Attack, aka the longest title ever. So, joining me is GMK Godzilla, sup, GMK Ghidorah, sup, and Mothra. Hi. Super Final Wars. What is it? GMK. That's not GMK Mothra, though. Look, I don't have a GMK Mothra figure yet. No, I don't have Baragon yet. A part of me wants to get the GMK Baragon, but the other part of me wants to get the Showa era Baragon. Okay? Just deal with it, okay? Okay, Jesus. Just saying. Not GMK Mothra. Look, just deal with it, okay? So, unlike its predecessor, Godzilla vs. Ghidorah, this one is less silly and more serious. Kind of like the 1954 Godzilla movie. And before we begin, care about giving us a little bit of detail? Oh, yeah. For starters, Mothra and King Ghidorah were not supposed to be in the movie. They were just in for marketing and more money. The actual movie was going to be about me versus Baragon versus Rodan versus Ingirius versus Varan. So within a way, it was going to be titled Godzilla, Ingirius, Baragon, and Varan. I think that was the title. Giant Monsters All Out Attack. That sounds even longer than this one. Well, the first film already has a long name, but the original film was going to have a much more longer name. Plus, Baragon was supposed to come back from the dead. Wait, seriously? He was supposed to come back from the dead? Oh yeah, he would have been brought back to life by a bolt of lightning, and he would have joined the final battle. And here's the interesting part: Ingirius, Baragon, and Varan would have had elemental abilities. Go on. Baragon would have had the fire and would have looked more red, which is kind of accurate because he almost looks identical to his film counterpart. Varan would have had the power of wind and would have been white. And Ingirius would have had the power of ice and would have looked more gold and red. Not red, gold and blue. Oh, so you mean similar to this? Oh, no, I was meaning like that being like blue and the whole body being... Oh, gold. Okay, I got you. You can leave now. So, continue. And the film would have had to go tango, but all of that was scrapped, and instead of Varan and Ingirius, these two came instead. And Baragon stayed dead in the movie. Such a shame. I would have loved to see Ingirius get his own spotlight for once. But no, it always has to be freaking King Ghidorah and Mothra who has to take over all the time. Ow. Well, at least the roles of both you two switched. Like, you being the bad guy and you being the good guy. Yeah, well, man, a lot of people were... I still get comments every single day like, why am I the good guy and why is Godzilla the bad guy? Anyways, so this film, Giant Monsters All Out Attack, is personally another one of my favorite Godzilla movies, honestly. Mostly because of how serious it is. Again, this is just like the 1954 movie. While the other film, Return of Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Destroy, did have a few issues, I think this film didn't have any issues. And honestly, this film, I think a lot of people still talk about this film every single day because mostly of how serious it is. And normally, you see a lot of people leaving while the monsters are destroying, but this time, this is different. The people are actually running for their lives, and Godzilla's actually, like, killing people in this film. Yeah, for the first time ever, there was a Godzilla film that actually resembled the 1954 movie. Where in the other movies, like the Showa and the Heisei era, and, well, the first two parts of the Millennium era, not a whole lot of people got killed. What about all those military personnel that in the other Godzilla movies? Don't they count? Well, I don't think so, because we don't see them, like, controlling the vehicles. Plus, we don't hear from their voice, like, screaming, "Oh my god!" Which is something that I think Godzilla vs. the PS4 game nailed. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I will say, when I first heard about King Ghidorah being the good guy in this film, I was actually a little confused. I was like, what? Why is King Ghidorah the good guy in this film and Godzilla the bad guy? And I did hear that you're supposed to be like the ghost of the 1954 Godzilla. Is that like true? Kind of in a way, but I'm mostly brought back because of the souls of the people from World War II. And I will say, Godzilla in this film was a flat-out savage. He was just a flat-out savage. He just wasn't just after people. The way he beat up Baragon, oh my god, the way he beat up Baragon, like, my god, Baragon barely stood a chance in that movie. Hell, not even Mothra and King Ghidorah did any damage. Well, I did some damage. I revealed a weak spot on Godzilla. Like I used that super powerful energy ball and blasted right at him, and it was actually powerful enough to actually hurt Godzilla, not severely, but like move a chunk of flesh out of the way, so that way the military will gain the upper hand to kill Godzilla. Oh yeah, that's like when that film came out, that was like the fourth time Godzilla died. And then we got Godzilla Monster Planet, and that was considered the fifth time that Godzilla died. Well, technically that was Godzilla still, yes, not the original Godzilla, so it wasn't really the Godzilla, but yeah, it was Godzilla. Yeah, I was about to say that. And the soundtrack was amazing. I loved the whole theme, like every single theme about this movie and the characters. I actually did not have a problem with these characters. They were actually serious characters, and that's almost like rare for a Godzilla movie to get that, honestly. I thought you said you didn't have a problem with the human characters in the Return of Godzilla. Well, other people have a problem with them. But Godzilla vs. Destroy, they almost took their roles very seriously. Almost. That's what I've been hearing from other people. Oh. And that ending scene, though, of Godzilla's, like, heart still beating, that almost, like, told you that there was going to be, like, a sequel coming out, but no. Because what we got was Godzilla against Mechagodzilla and Tokyo SOS, which those two films are the only two films in the Millennium Era that just so happen to be canon to each other. Godzilla 2000 and Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, I thought those two movies were canon, but they were not. Then this movie, I thought it was canon to the other two movies, but it was not. It was its own solo thing. But Godzilla against Mechagodzilla in Tokyo SOS, that was the first time ever that we got two movies in the Millennium Era connected in the same universe. And then there was Godzilla Final Wars, but that was not connected at all in any of the movies. Yeah, I will admit, the Millennium Era was confusing, because the Millennium Era just rebooted the Godzilla franchise like 4 times. Can someone explain to me why was the Millennium Era of Godzilla movies being rebooted 4 times? Why is it that the Showa and the Heisei era Godzilla movies were the only ones that were the same, that stayed connected to the respective movies, except for Godzilla's Revenge, because I heard that movie's technically not canon. Well, the Raw era, or whatever, the live-action era, if you don't count the MonsterVerse, that era is not connected at all, unless you count the Earth Godzilla movies and the Gemstone Godzilla movies. Those were the only 2 movies that happened to be canon. They were connected to each other. Okay, yeah, fair point. And overall, this movie was fantastic, and honestly, it's another one of my favorite Godzilla movies, in my opinion. So, I will have to give this particular movie, Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters, Full Out Attack, I'm going to have to give this movie a solid 10 Golden Godzilla stars out of 10. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, boys. Ahem. And girl. Boys, there's only 2 boys. I was counting my heads when I said that. Oh. So yeah, stay tuned for the last and final Godzilla movie of the Millennium Era, at least. That being another one of my personal favorite Godzilla movies, Godzilla Final Wars. And then, after I review that, I would have the whole Showa, Heisei, and Millennium complete. Now all I have left is the Raw era and the MonsterVerse. So, stay tuned for that, folks. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.